Batabile Obokeng Mokhali in Development Studies. Bukhle Mashu Mohudi in Organizational Psychology. Dimpo Moletsane in Philosophy. Rendani Gabriela Molubo in African Languages. Matuma-sang Keliabetswe Wabafenyi Motsisi in Drama with Distinction. Wisdom Ntando Yankosi Moyo in African Languages. Naledi Mpanza in Sociology. Luandile Msutu in Political and International Studies. George William Nabembezi in Development Studies. Kirani Nashai in Chinese Studies. Kibidi Alexander David Neocosmos in Applied Mathematics and Philosophy with Distinction. Ndivaleni Nechiavela in Drama. Ntatani Evelyn Notoane in Music and Musicology. Megan Desiree Parker in Psychology with Distinction. Jessica Lee Paul in Psychology with Distinction. Felicia Manquana Ramafalo in Psychology. Adam Joshua Randera in Linguistics and Applied Language Studies and Philosophy with Distinction. Jessica Linton Reed in Environmental Science. Usivile Resha in Psychology. Jennifer May Rout in Classics. Dylan Joshua Scott in History. Taylor Mikhail Selshop in Development Studies. Michelle Kalen September in Organisational Psychology. Donnay Haley Schoen in Psychology with distinction. Shannon Lala-Rook-Skay in Psychology with distinction. Richard Carey Slater in Computer Science. Oboichepo Tladi in Linguistics and Applied Language Studies. Zintle Samantha Cholwana in English. Danielle Fundermerva in Drama. Tracy Lee Whitehead in Psychology. Siposihle Wachela in Philosophy. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honour to request you to confer the degree of Master of Arts on the following candidates. Patiswa Esona Bottoman in Clinical Psychology. Nicole Lizelle Brunk in Counselling Psychology. Marley Kutzen in Counselling Psychology. Morgan Gwyneth Collins in German Studies with distinction. Michael Devon da Silva in Drama with distinction. Tamarin Joanne Daldorf in Creative Writing with distinction. Mercy Dliwayo in Creative Writing with distinction. Bapiti John Dludlu in Creative Writing. Zakira Doctorate in African Languages with distinction. Andries Jacobus Gous in Journalism and Media Studies with distinction. Pamela Cordelia Hellerman in Drama with distinction. Calvin Don Jordan in History. Yeah! Nom Nicelo Agrenet Comenisi in creative writing. Tabang Lucky Lalimo in clinical psychology. Tambela Madliki in drama with distinction. Rafaro Kuku Anet Manzira in development studies. Claire Anne Murray in clinical psychology with distinction. Shirley Murray in creative writing with distinction. Celiso Christian Masolane in creative writing. Elizabeth Lucy Masombuka in African languages with distinction. Sintembile Machobeni in creative writing. Ntombi Kaisi Millicent Mklambi in creative writing. Chantel Mini in counselling psychology. Raikana Mofokeng in creative writing. Opelo Petunia Machotsi in clinical psychology. Caesar Kele Immaculate Mokele in creative writing with distinction. I'll say her name if you keep it down. Nontabisi Moyikwa in drama with distinction. Tinashi Munyariri in history with distinction. Nomta Annalisa Sivuyile Njoku in creative writing with distinction. Unati Ndlalantle Ngada in creative writing. Craig Michael Brannigan O'Flaherty in creative writing. Patience Sibanda in Development Studies with distinction. Kelly Michelle Solomon in Anthropology with distinction. Ellery Colleen Steenkamp in Journalism and Media Studies. Heather Elizabeth van Niekerk in Music. Charlotte Ann Wild in Counselling Psychology with distinction. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honour to request you to confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. On the following candidates. Tadarera Herbert Chisi in History. The thesis examines social and political transformations in Hlengwe communities of southeast Lowveld, Zimbabwe, since the colonial era. Using a demotic constructivist approach, Herbert Chisi demonstrated that the creation and evolution of Hlengwe ethnicity was not predominantly the work of elites. He challenged the dominant creation of tribalism thesis and its successor, the imagined communities, rendering of social constructivism. Congratulations. Kolisa Beatrice Gogela in Political and International Studies. In this thesis, Gogela dares to give voice to women on the subject of traditional male initiation. A brave and careful exploration of the question of whether women's democratic and human rights are compromised in the name of protecting cultural norms. Culture here is depicted as heterogeneous and shifting rather than static. Her participants, while respectful of cultural values, feel themselves marginalised in ways that are inappropriate given their changing social roles. Congratulations. Janet Mary Hayward in Anthropology. This highly original study investigates the claimed descent of Amapondo and Amanbombana clans from foreigners who arrived via shipwreck or other means and integrated with local communities generations ago. Employing Y chromosome DNA testing to determine the geographical region from which an ancestor originated, Hayward could confirm their claims despite the many generations that had elapsed. In addition, her ethnography proves the unifying power of kinship and descent over divisions of race. Congratulations. Denis in Sociology. This innovative thesis examines how the origin and distribution of personal names given to children mirror social change in German society. Applying representative social survey data, his study found children's names had become increasingly individualised over time. A comparison of naming in the former divided Germany also suggests that East German names, borrowed from the free world, might have been used as a kind of silent protest to distance oneself from an unloved regime. Congratulations. Tebogo David Malamela in African languages. This thesis contextualizes Sepedi Sesotho sa Leboa Kiba poetry as worthy of original study as part of literary intellectualization of African languages. The thesis shows that Kiba is a multidimensional and cohesive intersection that combines cultures, languages, and spirituality. It illuminates unexplored areas of Kiba poetry and offers a critical perspective on acculturation. The thesis suggests that if this is not done, then South Africa's rich literary tapestry will forever be incomplete. Congratulations. Sitembele Machau in African languages. This study explores code switching as a pedagogical strategy in bi- or multilingual classroom settings. It found that learners from disadvantaged backgrounds struggle to learn through English, but aspire to acquire it because of its socio-economic advantages. The study concludes that where learners are emergent bilinguals, additive bilingualism would be more ideal rather than the subtractive bilingualism often preferred by parents. There is a need to harness code switching as a communicative and pedagogical resource in our classrooms. Congratulations. Tolani Mavela in African languages. Luthisisi ibalwe ngesi Xhosa. Eyona njongo ipambili yolupando. Kuluzama ukuyila nokuvelisa isixhobo esinokusetyenziswa ekwaziseni. Nasa kuxhobiseni abafundi besixhosa abakwinqanaba le-FET. Ngezakhono zokubhala eziphuhlileyo nezikumgangatho wobhalo lwamaziko emfundo enomsila. Appraisal theory was used to measure the extent to which isiXhosa FET students use evaluative language when writing response essays to isiXhosa literature. The study was located within the fields of academic response writing, text linguistic research, and sociolinguistics to develop student writing skills. Congratulations. Nix McLean, History. Through a post-structuralist, anti-racist, queer feminist lens, this thesis places the 2012 rupturing of Joburg Pride within the history of the LGBTIAQ movement in South Africa. It is argued that Pride had become depoliticised and commercialised. The commercial interests and apolitical stance of predominantly white Joburg Pride organisers had come to exclude LGBTIAQ people of colour's experience at a time when political organising around hate crimes was most necessary. Congratulations. Nontlala Beata Mchingizana in Sociology. A comparative study focusing on Banco Austral, a subsidiary of ABSA, that explores the ways in which South African foreign direct investment has influenced the development of employment relations in Mozambique. Drawing on detailed findings from in-depth interviews, the study shows that employment relations at Banco Austral are not purely a product of the influences of its parent firm or solely the result of local conditions, but rather a hybridised combination of host country and parent firm practices. Congratulations. Kefa Natoluka in Political and International Studies. The thesis describes how and criticises why the attempt at using a universal and commonly used approach for intervening in conflict, called multi-track diplomacy, failed in the post-election crisis of 2007 in Kenya. By showing how an alternative holistic approach, the conflict transformation approach, more appropriate to Africa's local conditions, could have been used instead, the thesis makes an important theoretical contribution to the field of African conflict resolution. Congratulations. Bongani Brian Kenneth Ndodana Breen in music by Composition Portfolio. Situating each work in a large-scale musical structure, such as opera, his music reflects a new South African musical language, synthesising African and Western musical styles. Growing up under apartheid and experiencing the movement into full democracy, his compositions provide commentary on South Africa's political and social history and its current state. It comprised 3 substantial works. One, Credo, deals with the Freedom Charter. Another, Safika, explores the migratory nature of African existence, reflecting on migrant labour, forced removals, and the pain and memory of exile. The third, which I've left to the last, given events over the past week, which may interest you, is his composition, which I understand is the first full-length opera composed by a South African. Which is titled Winnie the Opera. If you'll permit me, I'd just like to read a few lines from a Guardian newspaper article from 2011, which marked the world premiere of the opera. Quote, "The opening night of Winnie the Opera by South African-born composer Bongani Ndodana Breen won a standing ovation. As the curtain came down, Winnie was escorted to the stage to beam at the audience, who broke into chants of Amandla. In all my career of fighting, I've never been short of words, but tonight I am," she said. "This is the first time I have got such accolades from my country. This surpasses anything I have known." Congratulations. Zakile Somlata in African languages. The aim of this study was to evaluate how universities use language policy for access and success of students and to assess language policy implementation strategies, monitoring and evaluation. The study investigated whether universities use the linguistic repertoires of students in their education. Findings show that universities allow access of students, but success of students is thwarted by English monolingualism. The monolingual approach negatively affects the academic performance of the majority of students. Congratulations. Nice to meet you. Oh, no, this is... Almost there. Denis Evelyn Walters in history. This thesis demonstrates the importance of 19th century bridge building as part of the emergence of transport infrastructure, which impacted heavily on economic, military and political developments in the colonial Eastern Cape. Military conquest and colonial economic exploitation were contingent upon good transportation. The geography of the area necessitated both bridges and roads. Both were expensive. As a leader in industrial technology, Britain was well placed to extend bridge building skills to its colonies. Congratulations. Nicola Wannenberg in Psychology. In this thesis, the candidate describes how Temple Grandin developed from a child diagnosed with autism, traumatised by inappropriate treatment methods, teased and bullied by peers, and who struggled academically into an exceptional scientist and activist. Grandin, currently a professor in animal sciences at the Colorado State University, transformed the international livestock industry by inventing stress-reducing animal handling facilities. This study contributes to our knowledge of autism by highlighting the extraordinary potential possessed by individuals who face severe psychological challenges. Congratulations.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting to you Dr. Sally Matthews, Senior Lecturer in the Department of Political and International Studies, for the award of the Vice-Chancellor's Distinguished Research Medal. A talented, up-and-coming scholar, hard-working and conscientious, a researcher who exudes tact and exceptional analytical research skills, and one whose work exhibits outstanding quality in relation to peers. These are the phrases that peer reviewers have chosen to describe Dr. Matthews. Her research over the past 10 years has been focused on development, identity, and race issues in Africa, and more particularly, South Africa. She has earned a respected reputation for publishing on complex issues of development and privilege in ways that are both empirically solid and theoretically sophisticated. While her subject matter has covered a relatively wide disciplinary scope, her common thread is a concern for social justice in South Africa and Africa more widely. She has in recent years extended her work on privilege into the domain of education through papers, a co-edited book on education and transformation in South Africa entitled Being at Home, Race, Institutional Culture and Transformation at South African Higher Education Institutions, which was published in 2015. The book has been influential across disciplines in the national debate on transformation in higher education. Last year, Dr. Matthews published a book entitled NGOs and Social Justice in South Africa and Beyond, published by UKZN Press, which invites reflection and critical discussion on the role played by NGOs. She has published in leading journals nationally, such as Politicon, Transformation, Africanus, and Theoria, and in international journals, including the Journal of Asian and African Studies, Politics, African Identities, Africa Development, and Third World Quarterly. She has also contributed numerous chapters to books. Dr. Matthews serves on the editorial board of the Journal of Contemporary African Studies, JCAS for short, and of Studies in Social Justice, and has served as a reviewer of articles and manuscripts for a wide range of noted journals, as well as for the UKZN Press and for Sun Press, that's the Stellenbosch University Press. Known as a dedicated teacher and noted mentor of postgraduate students, she has supervised or co-supervised 11 master's students to successful graduation and is currently supervising 3 PhD students. She has mentored and provided publishing opportunities to several of her research students and to emerging scholars through the books she has edited or co-edited. Dr. Matthews has acted as the head of Department of Political and International Studies on numerous occasions and has contributed widely to the university as an active academic citizen. A referee describes the personal influence of Dr. Matthews' writing like this: her incisive and searching mind never allows me to get away with any wishful thinking, cant, or bias. I trust her excellent sense and insight to bring me back to earth. Another writes that she distinguishes herself by writing exceptionally well-researched and interesting articles on sensitive, if not taboo, subjects, or topics such as privilege, race, and identity politics. And a third notes, such bravery and brevity to address the elephant in the room must be duly recognized in light of the racial contestations and divisions that continue to haunt the post-1994 South Africa. Our Vice-Chancellor has often written and said that for Rhodes University, research, teaching, and community engagement seek to be alive to the social and economic challenges of the local, national, African, and international contexts, and that the university's research seeks to extend the frontiers of knowledge and also to inform initiatives that promote equity, justice, and economic and social development. Dr. Matthews is a scholar teacher who gives real life to this vision. So, Mr. Chancellor, I request that you award the 2017 Vice-Chancellor's Distinguished Research Medal to Dr. Sally Matthews. Mr. Chancellor, I now have the honor of presenting to you Russell Harold Kashula. Popular Professor of African Language Studies and Saatchi Chair in the School of Languages and Literatures for the award of the Vice-Chancellor's Distinguished Senior Research Medal. Professor Kashula is widely regarded as one of Africa's foremost scholars on African languages, focusing on literature, second language teaching and learning, and sociolinguistics. Over a 30-year career, he has edited, authored, and co-authored a remarkable volume of work published in accredited scholarly journals. This work casts an intellectual spotlight on the languages and the language communities of South Africa and neighboring countries. His research accomplishments have contributed significantly to the growth of African languages and African language scholarship at Rhodes University. Arguably, this began with the award to the School of Languages of a South African-Norway tertiary education partnership grant in 2007, followed soon after by a Department of Arts and Culture bursary fund for postgraduate students in 2009, which saw a significant escalation in the size of the postgraduate school in African languages at Rhodes University, graduating 100 postgraduate students over a 4-year period. Since that start, the performance of this area of the university, led by Professor Kashula, has been nothing but stellar. He and his colleagues have supervised an exceptional number of master's and doctoral graduates. There are currently this year 23 doctoral graduates registered in African languages. Doctoral candidates, I should say. At the April 27 graduation ceremonies 1 year ago, Professor Kashula graduated 6 PhD students. He's one of only 2 supervisors in the history of this institution to have achieved that record. Just a few moments ago, you'll have seen several students either supervised or co-supervised by Professor Kashula across the stage. In fact, there were 4 doctoral candidates and 2 master's candidates. In addition, Professor Kashula's graduates are making a significant contribution in the discipline, with some of them becoming colleagues in the School of Languages and Literatures here at Rhodes University, other areas of the university as well, and other higher education institutions. In 2013, Professor Kashula was awarded a National Research Foundation Chair in the Intellectualization of African Languages, Multilingualism and Education under the prestigious South African Research Chair Initiative. And it's one of the very few such chairs in the humanities in South Africa, and in fact is the only chair of its kind in languages on the African continent. His international profile has continued to grow and has impacted positively on the reputation of African language studies at Rhodes University. The school now has collaborative projects with colleagues across the globe. The work of Kashula and his students has been acknowledged as representing a practical challenge to the dominance of English in African language-speaking communities, where many are limited in their life chances and excluded from participation in public affairs due to their marginalization and underestimation of their mother tongue. On the other hand, Professor Kashula's scholarly reflections in English on writing and publishing in and about African languages, language practices in African language-speaking communities, and multilingualism have contributed immensely to opening African language studies to a national and international audience. His most recent books, edited together with Professors Pamela Maseko and Eckhard Wolff, of Leipzig University include Multilingual Education for Africa, Concepts and Practices, published by Routledge in London, and more recently, Multilingualism and Intercultural Communication, a South African Perspective, published by Wits Press. There is a book entitled The Transformative Power of Language, From Post-Colonial to Knowledge Society in Africa, which is due to be published later this year by Cambridge University Press. In addition to formal academic publications, Professor Kashula has taken his work into public spaces where it is able to make a wide impact through popular media publications, radio and television interviews, guest lectures, and community interactions. But Professor Kashula's talents are not limited to formal research. He is a noted teacher and was a recipient in 2008 of the 2008 Vice Chancellor's Distinguished Teaching Award. And he's also an award-winning author of novels and short stories. He is a recipient of the Nassau Via Africa Prize for Studies in African Literature. His short stories were published as part of the prestigious Kane Prize for African Writing, as well as the PEN Studzinski Literary Awards. He was recently awarded lifelong and honorary membership of the International Society for Oral Literature in Africa at a conference held in the Ivory Coast. And in addition, he is a registered advocate of the High Court of South Africa. So don't go messing with him. One of his referees for this award describes him as an excellent ambassador, both for his academic specialization and for his country, who inspires with his intellectual caliber, his sensitivity, and his accomplishments. Another refers to him as, without any doubt, a nominee of exceptional quality and proven achievement